Welcome back, folks. Well, made progress on our Mustang, on Barry's Mustang. It runs like a top, shifts superbly, leaks fixed now. Maybe address a little bit of the brake situation, but otherwise, man, I've been trying to get it to leak, been trying to get fuel leaks. Man, it seems like it's really buttoned up. So you saw in the last episode, I talked to Barry about the speedometer head on the instrument cluster. You get to hear it clicking really hard in there. That's with two different speedometer cables. Yes, it had grease in them. We had it working. It was working for about 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden it just laid down. And I'm pretty sure that the original speedometer gears in there are probably stripped. So talked to Barry about it, and I told him what my opinion was. Barry is one of the few people who have done one of these projects right. He started off with a good foundation. He wanted a new wiring harness, so it's got a American wiring harness in it. I think the All-American, or I forgot what it is, AAW, but same thing we're putting in our Dakota. But now, Barry said, well, you know what? Talking to you about what you did with your Dakota and your Charger, done with other vehicles, I think I'm ready to pull the trigger on a Dakota Digital. So wow, is this Mustang really evolving? So this is the VHX 65F-MUS. This is the one that Barry picked out. I sent Barry to the website for Dakota Digital. You Mustang guys, I mean, y'all have got so many choices with options like this for, like, say, for your Dakota Digital. And, you know, they did pretty good with the Mopar stuff too, actually, so I can't complain at all. Very happy. So we are going to start installing Barry's new VHX Dakota Digital. So let's see what it looks like. I hadn't even pulled this thing out yet, so I have no idea. Yeah, there we go. So as you guys know, this thing lights up. He can have a red background, a white background, blue background, whatever he wants. So it's going to look fantastic. Plus, what I love about this thing is the gauges are actually accurate. You know, these older cars, they're kind of somewhat accurate, but this is going to really provide a lot more accuracy. And I think Barry's going to really like this. So we're about to get started. Got to kind of decide where we're going to put some of this stuff. You know, you've got the box right here. It's one of the things. Basically the unit where for your ins and outs, for your inputs and outputs. But again, this is something Barry can grow into. Barry's got all kinds of options, and he can add to this. That's what makes these things so awesome. So let's get started getting this thing unpacked. Probably going to pull the Mustang back. We don't need it on the rack at the moment. And let's see how this sniper starts up. See how it's cool out here. I haven't driven it and started it in a week or two. So let's see what happens. So just to let everybody know, it's 57 degrees outside. We had a cool front come in here in Oklahoma. So let's just see how this thing starts. Look at that. Man. All right, let's back it up. Okay, in one of the bags, you're going to have your sensors. And this is your hardware pack. It comes with all the adapters right here, and it comes with the sensors. This is a speed sensor. I'll get into this later. There's something specific, I think, when we run the TKX that we run. I went into this in the Charger. It was very easy. And then here is our water temp sensor and our oil pressure sensor. So let's see where we're going to mount these real quick. Great thing about Fords is, or at least this one, we had two places for the water temp. This one was for our sniper. It's right here. And then we got another one. It's in the intake manifold right here. So I think I'm going to take this out here in a second, and now I'm going to go ahead and install the water temp sensor. Draining the coolant. Let's see how fast. The other one right here, the new one. Out. Probably because I got vacuum on it. I didn't notice that, but I do have Teflon tape on here. Put some Teflon tape on this one as well. Here we are. Our oil pressure sending unit versus our sitting unit right here. So we're about to get this in. Okay, I've got, using just my little test light here, I've got plenty of places for the constant. I just need to find a switched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this instrument cluster. Again, we have an American Auto Wire in wiring harness in this thing, so it's not going to be a problem. Once I pull the cluster, then we'll find a switched reference, and then this is our box that it'll go to. So we'll have to have a switched, a constant, and a ground, and then we're probably going to mount it right here. I think is about where what we said earlier. Put that away like this. But yeah, I think that'll be tucked up and out of the way. And Barry can still use the lever here, I think. Yep, it still works. So let's find this switch wire real quick. Okay, found a switched 12 volt. Turn the key on. All right, so now just need to find the ground. Okay, none of these are going to reference anything anymore anyway. Let's get these out. I just want to show everybody something really quick. I know on a Ford and a Mopar, I don't know about GM, but if your fuel gauge does not work and your temperature gauge does not work, both of them, and you've already diagnosed your fuel gauge from the back, grounded it, and it doesn't move, and you go to ground the temp from the sitting unit and it doesn't move, most likely it's this. It's the voltage limiter. It goes on the back. On the Ford, it's really easy to get to. It's this one I think was about right here, and you've got two wires and in and out. But this voltage limiter basically is how they, I guess, limited and however it was designed. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but very possible that your voltage limiter is bad. On the Mopar, especially like A-bodies, man, that dash, that thing is a pain in the butt to get to. You pretty much got to pull a whole bunch of stuff just to get to this on the Mopar. But on the Ford, at least on this little Mustang, it's really easy to get to. You just pull this little cluster out and it's right here. So again, there'll be two wires that go to it. So now that we got our original cluster out, let's go ahead and look at what we've got. We've got our 12 volt reference, or excuse me, 12 volt switch, 12 volt constant, and now I just need to get a ground. Okay, so just like any of these clusters on any of these cars, when you do a Dakota digital, I would say 9 times out of 10, you're going to use your original bezel right here. So Trish is about to go ahead and remove the original instrument cluster right here with these Phillips head screws. She's going to remove this, and then we're going to screw in our new Dakota digital gauges right here, and they're just going to go back in. Very simple. Then you just got one wire going in for all the data points. So let's get this thing removed. So to get this thing to go in properly, we're going to remove our old lens right here, and we're going to remove the protective tape right here. And I'm going to keep this because I'm going to use this for the setup. I'm going to use this code to set the calibration and everything up. But let's get this off. All right, now all of our holes line up. They give us a set of screws to put all these in. Trish's going to put those in, the new ones. That's what it's going to look like. It'll look really nice once it's lit up. So Trish gonna put this thing together real quick. All right, now that Trish has the instrument cluster screwed into the bezel right here, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the one wire that goes to the back. As you can see right here, it's what makes this thing so great. So this, call it a Cat 5, I think. Yeah, Cat 5 cable. We're about to plug it in here. And we're gonna show you where our, I call it a command center. It's a control box, what Dakota Digital calls it, the in and out box processor. So we've got this mounted, just one wire, about to get the instrument cluster back in. So here we go. Gotta get my screwdriver. Get ready. All right, making great progress. So now for our tachometer, I'm going to run a green wire to the negative side of the tachometer, right there. And Trish is going to put the nut back on top of that. And then I am going to plug in the, see which one is this one here. I think this one is the temperature. Or is this the oil pressure? Let's see here. Let me get my light. But one of these goes to oil pressure, and then the other one goes to the temperature, and then it's so easy a caveman can do it. It's going to tell you where to hook in on the control box. So let's get these things hooked up. My oil pressure has 3. They won't fit on each other. They're dummy proof. Right. So set that one aside for a moment. And there it is. Through the firewall, and yes, we're going to dress them all in there. And see if my fan. All right, folks, that's where we're going to leave it right here. We got our box installed, the control box. I have the cluster in. I don't have it bolted in yet, the little screws yet, because if I need to go in and do something else. But here's what we got. Nothing has been. We haven't even adjusted, set the gas gauge or anything. So. All right, now we're gonna set this up. Barry's gonna be able to see the lights. I turned the headlights on so you can see the gauges. But now, look, we've got all of our temps working, our oil pressure's working. Come over here. See oil pressure, temp, tachometer is working. And then our volts. And now our fuel is not, we have to tell the system what fuel gauge it's using. So there's a couple things. And also on the blinkers are they're flashing on the car, but they're not flashing here. And I don't know what's going on there, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. There's just something maybe that I haven't picked up yet, maybe there's a ground issue. I'm not sure, but you can hear it blinking, and you can hear it. If Trish takes the camera, you'll see it blinking on the outside of the car. So, yeah, I'd say we make great progress today. Obviously, we've got to get the speedometer set up, set the fuel gauge, and see what's going on with the blinker situation. Obviously, I need to tidy up some wires, but we'll get in that tomorrow. We'll show you. It looks like it's got a switch we need to hook up, mount somewhere to calibrate some things. I believe there is an adapter. When I did the charger, because it has the same transmission, I think there's an adapter I put on the right side of the TKX transmission for the speedometer, and it sends a signal, and it's just some wires that go down from the control box that will go down to the transmission. But we'll get into that tomorrow. So great progress. Dakota Digital's again looking really good. Barry, if you're watching this, I hope you're really seeing it. And hopefully we can get in there and maybe play with some different colors. And Barry, you tell me what colors you want, but I'm going to show you how to calibrate it and change everything. So yeah, so if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. I only need, I think, 8 more subs before we hit 1,000. So really would be it's been a big goal this year. So anyway, hope everybody has a great Saturday, and thanks everybody.